So here we are again. We are January. It's the beginning of January. It's 2019 already, and as promised, I am here to do a geeky house tour once again. It's been I don't know. It's been a while since I did one, and we've gotten more stuff since then. So we wanted to do an update one, and here we are doing an update one. So we are going to start upstairs in the house in the 80's room, which is where we shoot It Crept from the 80's. And it has been sort of overrun with downstairs stuff to accommodate all the Christmas stuff that we filled downstairs and upstairs actually. So we had to put everything in the 80's room, which is essentially the guest room or spare room in the house. But now it's back to normal. Now it's back to the 80's room, the Crept from the 80's set, if you will, and I rearranged it. So we're gonna go in there now. Behind me is my son's room. I guess I can show that. I mean, it's pretty messy, but it's all Star Wars and all that good stuff. So let's. Typical messy 11-year-old. I mean, it's Star Wars and Transformers and all of his toys and all that good stuff, and this is all his stuff. Yeah, again, house that loves Star Wars. So that's River's room. So now we're going into the 80's room, or the Crept from the 80's set, the rearranged room. So here we go. Whoa, whoa. So by rearranging it the way that I have, it's a lot roomier for us to do the show from. Yeah, I mean, I just literally just moved things on the opposite side and opened up the floor a little bit more, so we had more space to put up the tripods and lights and all that good stuff. And so now the couch is where we will be sitting and talking about the best decade of all time. So, I mean, I'll go over a few things here. So this is just so we got this stuff here, and this is the fun random 80's toys that I collected back in the day, growing up, and have recollected. A bunch of properties that I love: Ghostbusters, Centurions, Food Fighters, Sectors, and of course He-Man, Thundercats, what have you. You've seen it before in the Fright Night video, but there's my Fright Night shrine, some of my Fright Night stuff. And then I moved the mask stuff. So here now is the Kenner's mask stuff that I have. Mask was one of the big toy properties that I collected as a child, or got as a child, played with. So I have, over the years, recollected what I had as in my childhood. So there we go. More Mask. And a lot of this was thanks to my wife rebuying these things for me, or friends and fans sending them to me. Things of that nature, gifts, what have you. All that good stuff. A nice Critters poster there. Zapped, of course, love that movie. Indiana Jones. And this is the wall, the set, the Crept wall, where it's just a variety of 80's stuff. plugged in there. Not necessarily shit that I like truly loved, but just 80s stuff, 80s centric stuff. Posters that I was given, some flicks, some things that I've never even seen, but well, it's 80s. It's my grayscale box. This still needs to be messed with, but there's some glasses that I had, and then procured again. All that good stuff. Some nice cassettes. Gotta get those cassettes in there. And I moved all the 80s and 90s television that I have on DVD up here. And then, of course, I had a Boglin growing up. I had 2 Boglins. I've talked about it before, and I got that for my 40th birthday. Almost 2 years now. Because I am going to be 42 this year. Whoa! Ernest, love Ernest. That's my Mr. T doll. I had Mr. T. I had the A-Team 3-inch figures and the 6-inch figures, 5.5 figures of the A-Team. And then I had this big Mr. T doll. I got that back. This is actually my original Mr. T doll. Without all of the stuff. I mean, he had a bunch more stuff, but the last trip I made to my hometown, Wellsville, New York, in my old house, went up to my old room and brought a whole bunch of stuff back from my old rooms, and this was in the bottom of one of my toy chests, and I kind of flipped when I realized, oh my god, I still have my Mr. T. Degrassi Jr. Hi. I love that they brought the original Pepsi look back, all that good stuff. So I kept that. Love Captain Caveman. My wife got me that about 6 years ago. This sweet VHS throw blanket that Meredith got me. Of course, this is my original Stay Puffed that I gave to my son when he was born, and he kind of ruined a little bit, but got that back. This is Punky. Love me Punky Brewster. More Ernest, all this good stuff. Everyone remembers the Mattel Mad Scientist kits. They're awesome. The entire Turtles series from the 80s into the 90s. V figure, love V. V is a huge, huge part of my life growing up and now. I'm sure Bobby Heckman and I will do and Sean King will probably do a V special for it from the 80s, because we three love the series, and it was a big deal growing up when it aired in my home. 2 carded Ghostbusters monsters. I had a whole bunch more, but recently had to sell the ones that these 2 I would not sell, and I need to get the Wolfman still, but I did sell Quasimodo and the Mummy and the Zombie Monster because I was, and still am, in a little financial turmoil, and those are the ones that I felt that I could let go. Really didn't want to, but I needed to. So, some GoBots action. This I framed because I thought it was pretty rad, and I remember them so vividly. These were the Saturday morning preview sheets that would end up in comic books or TV guides and let you know the Saturday morning cartoons that were coming up for the fall. The fall lineup. They used to do these Saturday morning preview specials on ABC and NBC. I think they did it on CBS as well. And they would have like celebrities of the day, sort of kid celebrities of the day, sort of, you know, do these skits that would lead into the cartoons that you were going to see the next Saturday morning or whatever. But I loved them. We got this was the 2008 Matt Tracker Mask G.I. Joe. Wasn't a huge collector of G.I. Joe. I definitely loved the cartoon, and I did have some of the toys, but very few. I only had the toys that of the characters that I absolutely loved, and that was few and far between. But this was amazing. This is cool. The Mask Matt Tracker G.I. Joe. Spaceballs video display. Class of Newcomb High video display, an original Mad Balls wind up, just so rad. And the NECA Spider Gremlin from Gremlins 2, 1990, whatever. Love Scooby-Doo, love Hanna-Barbera, so I kept those in the packages. These guys think they're so cool. The Monster cereals, of course, grew up with the Monster cereals. That's the puzzle. Random stuff that I'm going to get a coffee table in here, an old coffee table that I'm going to put a lot of this stuff on. Punky Brewster, this is a comic book that has not been messed with from back then, from the cartoon. Dynamite magazine, which I loved growing up. I got a couple of those. These are my Garbage Pail Kids, and Rivers as well. Yep, the Ewok Village box, boombox. This rad painting of Denver, the Last Dinosaur. Some sweet Saved by the Bell action back there for a, you know, you want to get that Saved by the Bell jacket, you just dial that 1-800 number. Love Godzilla, of course. My original Millennium Falcon. This is what I had. This is the one I had from my childhood. It's seen better days. Ski School poster. Love Ski School. Signed by Dean Cameron. Meatballs 3. I love 1 through 3. Teen Wolf 2. I actually enjoy it. Not as much as the first one, of course. Weird Science. Love Weird Science. Love John Hughes. 2 of the lunchboxes that I did have growing up and was able to re-get. Little bit of 80s right there. Some of my VHS that I still hung on to. Pound Puppies, you know, this, the Terminator back there, the box to the Fright Zone, which I loved. Still need to re-get the Fright Zone itself, but this is the box from it. Cherry, Elf, of course, Care Bear. This is one of the McBuddies, McDonald's Happy Meals, of course. The Real Ghostbusters cereal box. The McDonald's Muppet Babies toys. Moonwalker was one of my favorite Sega Genesis games. I got my Sega Genesis in '89, but I didn't have like crap ton of Sega games, but when Moonwalker came out, it definitely was like a big deal to me. Optimus Prime, of course, the 1984. G1, loved Transformers, one of the big toy lines I got when I was a kid, of course. We got the Garbage Pail Kids folder. On the other side is another image. I had these folders when I went to school growing up. That's a Ernest Goes to Jail laser disc that my buddy Alec got me. Here's some 80s books and things of that nature. Some TV guides, which I'm gonna get as well. The 80s Seen It, which we're gonna be rocking soon. Love Trouble, Nightmare, the video game from '91. Crossfire, Sweet Muppet Babies puzzle that Chris Tansky got me. Then we got the AT-AT. Now, I never got this as a kid. This was gifted to me, I think in my early 30s or late 20s by a friend of mine. Here's some more. The Star Wars books. These are my original figures from back in the day and my original land speeder that I still have. I don't have a lot of the original stuff anymore, and my son lost or broke a lot of the ones I gave him, and I wish I didn't. Here's some of the carded. Of course, recently I got the Rebo band again from my wife. And then I displayed the Jabba the Hutt playset and the speeder bike, which also can come out of there, but you know, it's in the box. And then I did pull this out to display it. The original, the Return of the Jedi tray, which I had growing up. I had a lot of those trays. I had E.T. and I had Thundercats and He-Man, the Smurfs, things like that. Up here, a carded Bionic 6 figure. I love Bionic 6 and I want to recollect the figures, but they're so expensive. But I do want them again. I love them. It's a very unseen and underappreciated cartoon and toy line, but I loved them. This was that new Mego Facts of Life. You all know my love of Facts of Life. The newer Mad Balls. Out of Time. Fright Night. Talked about those, of course. The Garbage Pail Kid movie poster. A V poster. Love my V. The original Grizzlor in his original packaging. Talked about that. I love it. Merman and Evil Lyn from the commemorative line from 2000. This is basically what we had growing up. It's amazing. It looks so great. I love it. And a sweet card sheet of Masters of the Universe from 1987. And that film. So, and this is indeed the... So that's the 80s room. Of course, we got the older TV. I think the TV itself is from like 92, 93, but still it's an older TV. Got the VCR, got a DVD player to play a lot of the old stuff in here. But yeah, so that's it. That's it for the 80s room. And so now we'll go downstairs. So now we're going downstairs, and in the stairwell we've got some posters of some flicks we love. All that good stuff. See a lot of random little Back to the Future things. That. I mean, the kitchen, you know, it's nothing. We don't. It's like one of the rooms in the house that we didn't really do anything geeky with, really. My wife was kind of like, we can geek up every other part of the house, but let's just leave the kitchen non-geeky, I suppose. So, as you wish. So we're going into the living room. This is our living room. Some random DVDs, Blu-rays, a lot of my wife's Disney collection and Christmas stuff, and some of the newer stuff she got for Christmas. Some Lord of the Rings here. Planet of the Apes, we love. Of course, Conan. Come on. Return of the Jedi. This is, I mean, we call it the Star Wars living room, but I mean, it's really science fiction. It's, you know, fantasy, that type of stuff. It's got a little bit of all the things we love. This is a sweet little light. It is a light. It's a lightsaber light. Sherlock, Empire Strikes Back. Conan. I'm gonna have the lad of Conan. You'll see it's fantastic. It's wonderful. Conan. Steve Whitmire, who was with the Jim Henson Company since 1976, and he's done so many voices that you know. He took over Kermit and Ernie after Jim Henson died in 1990, but he worked with the company for so long. He, of course, is the voice of Rizzo the Rat, and so many different characters that you love. Dark Crystal, everything, Fraggle Rock. I mean, the guy is crazy, but I met him last year, I think, maybe. This red alien pop-up 3D art. Star Wars. And then more Star Wars. Now all these are a combination of stuff that both are my wife's and mine, and just, I mean, it's one of the things we share in common is our love of Star Wars and all that good stuff. These are all statues and things of that nature. Of course, we got BB-8, and he does work. He runs around without the remote control. And more. This is Katie's Millennium Falcon from the 90s. She's 9 years younger than me, so her childhood was the 90s. And her dad got her into Star Wars. Here's our Hot Toys. I don't know if you can see. I've shown all this stuff before. Yeah, and then we got down here, we got Michael Jackson, Marty, and Jack Burton. Sorry, you can't really see them, folks. I'll try to brighten it up. And then we got the NECA Turtles here, which are amazing. That's how big they are. They're just beautiful, beautiful pieces. So detailed. Pretty spectacular. Well, Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars film. On our Star Wars show coming up on the channel, you will hear plenty of our backstory and relationship with Star Wars and all that good stuff. The Hot Toys Sideshow Boba Fett. Another amazing piece. We got Raphael, Leonardo, more Return of the Jedi. A lot of the actors signed these. Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Billy D, Peter Mayhew, a lot of people, because we've been to Star Wars Celebration a few times and all that good stuff. Empire signed. Our picture with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher from 2015. Peter Mayhew, blah, 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 genital mutilation, all that good stuff. Then we got the TV. Poster. We're also Doctor Who fans, so I painted our door into the other room. Doctor Who did all that. Into the Galaxy, Super 8, Temple of Doom, my favorite Indiana Jones. We both are huge fans of The Thing, so we had The Thing signed by a bunch of the actors and John Carpenter. These are fun mashups that James Hance does. Cool, cool. So that's this stuff. And then go into this room, which is Katie's gaming room, and where I do my editing and writing. Right here, that's where the magic happens. But most of it, I mean, it's all Katie's gaming. She's a huge gamer. Me and Stan Lee, rest in peace. Yeah, and then that's us with the Walking Dead actors and Doctor Who people and the Doctor Who's and Nathan Fillion, David Duchovny. We're huge X-Files fans. Yes, we do use this. This is Katie's setup. It's kind of a mess, but right now she wants to redo it. But this is all her stuff. I mean, she loves her games. Yeah. Oh, more Conan. This is the King Conan statue from the end of the film. pretty spectacular. This is a fun LBP Warlock collage for when we shot Teen Ape versus Sexsquatch, which is a terrible film. I am not a fan. Folks, I've written and directed a lot of movies that I don't like, and this is definitely one of them. But, so we'll go, ooh, we got Julian Sands, Warlock Armageddon. I love this movie. House on Haunted Hill, love it. In the Mouth of Madness, love it. Freddy vs. Jason, love it. Teen Wolf, love it. At some point, I plan to put some LED lights down through here. It's just one of those things where, you know, you need money, and I don't have it. Conan the Barbarian, of course, more Conan. On the door to the theater. Hellraiser 2 poster on here. There's a bunch of junk here. Dead Alive poster. Reanimator poster. But now we'll go into the theater room. Okay. So, I get back here and show you sort of what we're dealing with. So we recently upgraded to a 120-inch fixed screen, which before it was a 100-inch pull-down screen. And even when I did that, I always wanted to go bigger. And this particular screen is really perfect for 4K and the really like the bouncing of the light and the resolution is top quality on this particular screen. So turn around. These are the seats. Got a raised seat in the back. And then we've got the snack bar over here, or concession stand, if you will. Drinks and candies and whatnots. You got the movies, and I'll be doing another movies or collection video, Blu-ray collection, DVDs, what have you. A lot of my Creature from the Black Lagoon stuff. It's my favorite Universal monster creature. Faux show. Creature as depicted from the Monster Squad. Also a big Monster Squad fan. This is from the Monster Squad. Monster Squad hat. House poster, we love House. Brain scan. Famous Monsters of Filmland. I'm a huge horror fan, folks. So I've got a lot of horror stuff. The Convent. Love Oingo Boingo, my favorite band of all time. Robert Englund. President. Oh, look over here. Look at this. I decided to put my face in some plaster, and I put it on this wall with Christopher. I don't know what it's based on. So we got that. Ooh, nope. Weird Science. Of course, we got Chet. Love Gremlins. All this stuff. I mean, it's it's all stuff that I love. This was when we had a spread in Fangoria magazine in 2013, which was a dream come true. For the films that I've done, so I framed it. popcorn machine. More Universal love. This is Roddy McDowall's face cast from Fright Night, which is my favorite horror movie of all time. This is cool. This is a bottle opener. Frankenstein. My third favorite Universal monster. Wolfman is my second. Creepshow. Of course, love Aliens, the franchise. We've got the Alien Queen with the Power Loader and Ripley from NECA. On top of the amazing making of books from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. My God, if you're a Star Wars fan, you got to read these. They are mind-blowing, spectacular. A lot of my graphic novels and movie-themed books, making of books, what have you. More Fright Night. Fright Night. Now this actually leads into the washer and dryer. This is my comic rack. It's got a bunch of magazines and comics on here. Fun stuff. Yep. More old Fangoria. A lot of my Fangoria from growing up. Fright Night Comics. Horror Hound. All this good stuff. Crap from the 80s. Some DVDs, some masks. We got the Critter Puppet in there, Tarman, They Live Alien, a bunch of movies on DVD that I love, don't have on Blu-ray, some not available on Blu-ray. Gonna be doing a special video on this amazing film, which I've loved since 1999 when it was released. This is our new projector. It's a new Epson projector. We just recently upgraded and it blows the old one away. House. The chick from House. We got some up there. And my Trick or Treat shrine. Love Trick or Treat. Love it, love it, love it, love it. More DVDs and stuff, and this is where the LBP and Warlock stuff went, but it's being used upstairs because I'm making copies of stuff. Scary Terry. This is when we saw John Carpenter live. This was his live poster. Amazing Night. This is the original Creepshow comic magazine that came out when the movie came out, and Katie had that growing up because her father got it for her. She had lost it throughout the years, and then when we got together, I re-bought it for her as a present, and she loved it. She didn't know, so I got it for her. Curse of the Werewolf, one of my favorite Hammer films of all time. More Hammer, Christopher Lee, Frankenstein down there. Night of the Creeps. Night of the Creeps, signed by Fred Decker. I've met Fred Decker several times. Night of the Creeps. The Monster Squad. Both Monster Squad stuff signed. Us meeting them, the Monster Squad. The Fog. John Carpenter is my favorite horror director. Night of the Living Dead 90. Amazing film. People don't give it love. The Burning. Love this. I play this movie when I do Friday the 13th marathons. Because even growing up, I always felt Friday the 13th, the original, was so damn boring. But I loved The Burning. So I would play The Burning and then do Friday 2, 3, 4, 5, what have you. And Friday is one of my favorite franchises ever. More Creature Love. The 1985 made-for-TV movie, The Midnight Hour, right here. Love this damn thing. Subspecies. Of course, we got Tom Servo. Some more love here. Now we got Crow, and both Tom Servo and Crow are signed by pretty much the entire cast of Mystery Science Theater 3000. The only one we're missing is Mike. We don't have Mike signed on any of those, but hopefully one day, and then more of the collection, which I will go through, guys. Some autographs up here. Lance Henriksen, all this stuff. I've got a whole autograph book of stuff that I got, but I haven't been able to. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around here, and some of the Fright Night cast with myself and Josh, and then a Fright Night lobby card. And Friday the 13th, Kimberly Beck, Derek Mears from the remake. Brad Dourif for Chucky. Whoa, I'm falling. But, yeah. So that is... that's the theater. This is the home theater. Alright, I want to talk a little bit more about the home theater because it is one of the really, like, mind-blowing things that it's something that as a teenager I thought about all the time. I always said that, man, you know, one day if I ever get rich, I want a home theater in my house. You know, not even thinking about that. You don't have to be rich to obtain it, and it is something that is tangible and doable. And in 2016, you know, we moved into this house. My wife and I, we moved into this house in 2013, and one of the reasons we wanted this house was because it said that it had a finished basement. So, and I was like, well, this is my chance to finally have a home theater. So we got here and everything was good, and they showed us the basement, which did not look like this at all. And I'm going to put up pictures of what it did look like. And I was definitely let down because it's not what we pictured, and it certainly was not a finished basement. That's for sure. But I was like, you know, I'll work with it. I'll see what I can do to make it into a home theater. So that's when I got my initial projector and screen and everything, and tried my best to make it what I thought would be a rad place to enjoy my films. And it wasn't the best, and the floor, I mean, the ground was so wonky and all over the place, and so I always had to, like, put things of cardboard or blocks under things to make it level, to make, like, my shelves level and things like that. And it never, and then it was, because it was connected to another part, I mean, it was just one long room down here that was over into what became the cat room, where we put, like, the litter boxes and everything, because that was just concrete, and, like, that's where the water heater and everything is. So it was just this giant room, and we had to partition it to sort of make it feel like its own thing, but it never did. It always smelled because of the litter, and because it was a basement. It was, like, dampish, so it just kind of was funky and gross, and ultimately we never wanted to be down here, even with all my stuff and everything down here, and it just didn't work. And then at one point I took the projector and the screen upstairs in the living room, and that was just inconvenient, and that didn't work. And I took all the stuff that was down here and put it into what is now the 80's room and also the game room. It just didn't work. So in 2016, we, after many years of dealing with a shitty bathroom upstairs, not this upstairs, but upstairs, the second floor, or third floor, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. We had somebody come in to take a look at that and to mess around with that and make it better. Because we noticed that we had a leak. Just like when you get a new home and and they don't tell you exactly all of the things that are wrong with the house. They just want to sell the house and get out of there. Well, you know, there's a lot of things wrong with this house that we're still dealing with to this day, 6 years into the house. It just so I was taught with the guys who came to look at the bathroom and to redo the bathroom. It just so happened that he also did home theaters on his own, not a part of the group, but just he did that stuff because he had his own home theater and whatnot. And so I brought it up to him, and I was like, "Oh, what would it cost? Why don't you come down and take a look at what we're dealing with down here in this finished basement?" Again, you can look at these pictures and look this is what it was. And then, so he sort of gave us a really rad deal to do both the bathroom and a home theater. And then about a month and a half, he did both, him and like 2 other people. And so these are some pictures from that. But anyway, ultimately we ended up with this amazing home theater that looks nothing like what it used to. They built walls, they built doors, they built a floor. They built the floor here, a nice level floor. They built everything in here basically. They carpeted it. We brought in the couches for very cheap. They built us they didn't even charge us, but they built us the concession stand as like a gift. Because this was the first thing that they were doing on their own as their own business, and there was no ceiling. All the ceiling was open, like there was just pipes and wires and everything. And so they built the ceiling. They put in all the LED lights. Just fantastic, amazing, and a dream was come true. And my wife, truly, if it wasn't for my wife, there's no way it would have happened. So she made a dream come true, and now as a family and all my friends and everybody, we love this room, and it's still, it's 2019 now. We still come down here and are blown away that we have a home theater in our house. It's just rad for somebody who is a geek and a cinephile and just, loves movies and media. This is insane still. And then certainly once we got the upgrade of the new projector and the screen, is just like, holy crap. 3D down here is spectacular. Much prefer this than the theater 3D experience. Although, IMAX, you can't beat that. That's going to be top number 1. But other than that, down here for sure. But yeah, so rad. So this was the house geeky tour. Thanks for watching. So thanks. And again, like I said, we'll do another Blu-ray collection, movie collection video, because you folks did enjoy that. So we're gonna do another one of those, and to bigger and brighter and geekier things in the new year. So thanks for watching.